Hello again, Rabbi.
Hello, Joe.
And I see the fireworks behind you, probably an allusion that you are making to the new year coming up, or has already passed by the time this episode airs. I tend to think of the fireworks that happen whenever families gather together. I was out walking the dog this morning where I met one of our neighbors, and she was going, "Thank God I survived Christmas, because if I had to spend too much time with my mother and my sister, murders would happen." And I know that it isn't our family's holiday unless there's at least one or two major fist fights going on across the dinner table. Is there any advice that we can find in the Torah or in your boundless wisdom for dealing with these little holiday conflicts?
Actually, there is. Again, we want to start with each of us. And before we head on to the family dinner, either with ourselves, with our therapist, or with our partner or our spouse, we want to take a look at our issues with the people that are going to be there. They're our issues. It's not about someone else. If I have things that are unresolved about family members, if I have in my mind something that happened 50 years ago, and I'm going to get them at this, I have to start. And most of us aren't willing to do an inventory. It doesn't take long. You just sit down and you go, who's going to be there? What are my feelings about them? And when I think of them, what comes up? And if I confront them, deal with them, think about them before the meal, nothing bad will happen. You know, when we talk about the entire book of Genesis, Bereshit, when you think, what's the theme? Most of us will say, oh, it's about creation. Well, there's only 2 chapters in the book about creation. There are 40-something chapters about Joseph. And if we pull back and say, well, there are a number of themes, let's acknowledge that. And just because I thought of creation, because the word Bereshit means in creating, before the beginning, in the beginning, how you want to translate it, Genesis, the start. So that's why our mind goes there. But put that aside. The book of Genesis is about brothers not getting along. And some of them resolve the conflict, and some of them never do. Cain was jealous of Abel's, what he thought. It wasn't true. God didn't love one brother more than the other. But Cain perceived that God loved his brother more, and so he hit him with a rock and killed him. Never had a chance to reconcile, never talked to his brother about his feelings. And so there's our first brother against brother. Jacob and Esau. Until much later, they get reconciled. And there is our key, is the reconciliation of individuals who started out hating, wanting to kill family members and siblings. So there's the theme of the book of Genesis, is that there's something about jealousy, about family. And if we don't talk about it, if we don't deal with it within ourselves, it's a disaster. When Joseph's brothers come to Egypt, before they meet him, they say, hey guys, we're in trouble. Remember, we threw Joseph in a pit. We sold him into slavery. We tortured him. Now he is in a position, there's a famine in the land, and he's the only one that can give us grain. He's going to remember all the awful things we did to him, and we're doomed. And they meet Joseph, and Joseph looks at them, remembers all the past, and says, yeah, these things happened, but we're brothers. And they reconcile. Jacob and Esau reconcile by the river. Some of the matriarchs. Again, that's the theme of the book of Genesis, is we start out with these feelings and fights, and if we pay attention, this is the key, and don't let our emotions run rampant, otherwise we end up like Cain and Abel. And that's why that example stands of what happens. But all the other times where someone is tricked, someone's deceived, there's family fighting, we have the event, and then the reconciliation years later. Well, let's shorten that process and not wait for years. I'm going to a Christmas dinner, a Thanksgiving dinner, a family reunion, a New Year's Eve, the Super Bowl party, wherever I'm going. And these are the people that will be there. Okay. What comes to mind? Why am I remembering? I'm 75 years old. Why am I remembering something that an aunt, an uncle, a cousin who's now dead did to me when I was 12? What purpose would that serve? So by stopping, by processing it, I'll go, yeah, just like Joseph said, it's behind us. So I'm not going to bring it up. There's nothing to bring up. There's no reason to jump on their words. They're family. And I think therein lies the key to avoiding the fireworks and the axe murders that can take place at family reunions, family parties, family dinners. And it's up to each one of us to do an inventory and to check out and see. And if it really is that difficult, don't go. Don't go. That's all.
Well, that leaves me with just one problem, Rabbi. How do I get them all to watch this video before the next family dinner? Thank you very much. I will try and get my family to watch this, and I will try my best the next time I see you to not do it from behind bars.
I look forward to seeing you again after the new year. And please send this link to all your family members.